I'm Peter Whitmore, 73 years old, and what I'm about to share with you is something I wish someone had grabbed me by the shoulders and forced me to understand when I was young. I'm not exaggerating. Stay with me, don't skip ahead, because every one of these lessons hits differently when you slow down and really think about it. I've watched people, including myself, quietly destroy perfectly good lives through the same handful of mistakes. Not dramatic disasters, not the kind that make headlines. The quiet ones, the slow ones, the ones that eat at you from the inside for decades until one day you look around and wonder how you ended up so far from where you meant to be. Here are 10 of them, and I promise at least 3 will make you uncomfortable. Number 1, treating your body like it will send you a bill later. It doesn't send a bill, it delivers a verdict. I smoked from 16 to 44, 28 years, not because I loved it toward the end, but because quitting felt harder than continuing. You know what's actually hard? Sitting across from a cardiologist at 57 and hearing that your arteries look like rusted pipes. When you're young, you think your body forgets. It doesn't. It keeps score. Every skipped meal replaced with junk, every night of 4-hour sleep, every year spent sitting instead of moving, it all adds up. A colleague of mine, Dennis, ran marathons at 40 and thought he was invincible, but at 52, his back gave out so badly he couldn't even tie his shoes for months. Not because he ran, but because he spent 20 years sitting at a desk without stretching once. Your body doesn't forget, it just waits. Number 2, choosing comfort over honesty with the people closest to you. My brother Ray and I didn't speak for 11 years. 11 years over something so small it almost embarrasses me now. He borrowed money from our mother without telling me. Instead of saying, "Ray, that hurt me," I shut him out. No calls, no visits. Holidays came and went in silence. His children grew up barely knowing their uncle. And all that time I convinced myself I was right, that he should be the one to fix things. That wasn't strength, that was cowardice disguised as pride. One honest conversation could have fixed it. We finally reconciled when he ended up in the hospital after hip surgery. 11 years lost over a 40-minute conversation. Number 3, comparing yourself to people who aren't even playing the same game. Back in the 80s, my neighbor Frank bought a beautiful boat. Every Saturday he polished it in his driveway, and every Saturday I watched from my kitchen window, feeling like a failure because I couldn't afford one. The ridiculous part, I didn't even want a boat. I got seasick and hated fishing. But in my mind, his success meant I was falling behind. Behind what? Behind who? There was no race. I invented one and then punished myself for losing it. We do this constantly. Promotions, houses, vacations, even our children's achievements. Comparing your chapter 4 to someone else's chapter 12 is a game no one wins. Number 4, waiting for life to calm down before doing what matters. Life never calms down. It just changes shape. New problems replace old ones. New responsibilities fill every empty space. I told myself for 15 years that I'd learn to play the piano. My grandmother had one, and she always told me I had the hands for it. But there was always something else. Work, bills, family, repairs, excuses. I finally started lessons at 68. I'm terrible, truly awful. My teacher once told me I have the rhythm of someone walking on ice. But I'm happier being bad at something I love than I ever was waiting for the perfect moment that never came. Number 5,
holding on to an outdated version of yourself. I was a varsity wrestler in high school, 154 pounds, conference semifinalist. For years, that was my favorite story at dinner parties. One day, my daughter gently said, "Dad, that was 35 years ago." She wasn't being cruel, she was being honest. I had been clinging so tightly to who I used to be that I stopped becoming someone new. Your past accomplishments are part of your story, but they're not your destination.
Your memories can be beautiful companions, but they make terrible identities if you let them define who you are forever. Number 6. Surrounding yourself with people who only show up when life is easy. For 12 years, I had a group of guys I played cards with every other Friday. Lots of laughter, bad jokes, cold beer, the kind of routine that makes you feel like you belong somewhere. But when my business partner disappeared with our money back in '96, not one of those men called to ask if I was okay. I didn't expect miracles. I didn't need anyone to fix it. A simple, "Pete, you all right?" would have meant everything. Instead, silence. The next Friday, the card game continued like nothing had happened. When I mentioned it casually, one of them said, "We figured you didn't want to talk about it." But that wasn't true. They just didn't want to hear about it. Fair weather people aren't necessarily bad. Most don't even realize what they're doing. But building your life around them is like building a house without a foundation. Everything looks fine until the first real storm. Number 7. Letting resentment become your default setting. After my partner betrayed me, I carried that anger everywhere. It became part of my personality. I'd bring it up at barbecues, family dinners, even casual conversations with strangers. One day, my wife, Susan, said, "Peter, you're letting that man live rent-free in your head, and he's not even paying utilities." She was right. Resentment doesn't punish the person who hurt you. It slowly poisons you instead. I'm not saying you must forgive everyone. Some things truly don't deserve forgiveness. But choosing to carry bitterness every day is a heavy price, and it's one you pay alone.